Hey everybody, it's Lynn Hayes. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the astrological news from February 25th through March 5th or so. We've got a lot coming up, not so much this week. We have Mercury retrograde coming up I want to talk about. We have the new moon in Pisces coming up. So please keep watching. If you're new to the channel, please take a look around. I hope you'll like it and subscribe. You can click the bell to receive notifications of new videos. Also, I'd be very interested to see what you like and what you don't like. Is there anything that you want to know more about as far as astrology goes? I'd like to know who you are. Are you experts? Are you new to astrology? Just give me some comments. Let me know what you think, what you need, any questions you might have. So let's just start talking about the week. This week is actually pretty quiet astrologically. We've had a couple of solar aspects coming up. A nice harmonization between the Sun and Mars, which will help to energize us and kind of fuel our desire. That's coming up on the 27th. So solar aspects last just a day, maybe two, but probably just on the 27th. So if there's something that you'd like to get done, that's going to be a good way to do it. On the 28th, though, there's an aspect that could be somewhat exhausting. So you want to sort of make sure that you're taking care of yourself on the 28th. Also, over the next few days, Venus is going to be moving into an alignment with Uranus, which is likely to bring some sudden changes in terms of our relationships and our values. And often this can be challenging for the financial markets, especially since Mercury is retrograde next week, starting on March 5th. So let's just dive into that and talk a little bit about Mercury retrograde. I have an article on my blog I'll post a link to in the description box called Mercury retrograde is the pumpkin spice latte of astrology. And the reason I said that in that article is because everybody knows about Mercury retrograde. It's kind of it's reached pop astrology status, which I love. It's really great that so many people know about it. Even people who don't believe in astrology do believe in Mercury retrograde because it's pretty visible. We see evidence of it everywhere. That doesn't mean that between March 5th and March 28th, when Mercury is retrograde, that everything is going to fall apart. It doesn't really work that way. So when we talk about Mercury retrograde, what we mean is that Mercury in the sky looks like it's moving backwards from our perspective on Earth. We look at the planets from Earth. It's not astronomically correct. Planets don't really move backwards, as you probably already know. But from our perspective, we see them appear to move backwards. So when they're preparing to turn retrograde or move backwards, apparently from our perspective, they slow down, just like a car that's making a U-turn. So that period we often call the shadow period. There's other descriptions for that, and that's included in another article that I'll link. There are some more astronomically detailed descriptions of what a shadow period is, but the effective shadow period is really when Mercury's movement is slowing down. That's when things start to slow down a little bit in our lives. It's a little more difficult to keep things moving. When Mercury turns retrograde, we tend to be looking backwards. We tend to be revising, restoring, renovating, remodeling. So Mercury retrograde times, I like to think of them as the ebb and flow of the ocean. You know, the waves come in and then the water comes out so that they can come back again. Mercury retrograde periods are really good for looking back, for doing some reevaluation of anything in your life that might need to be rebuilt in some way. So we have that. That's where you're going to start seeing some examples of that as we move forward. Also, I just want to say that Mercury is in Pisces. It's at the very last degrees of Pisces. When it turns retrograde, it's going to be going back through Pisces. While it does that, it's going to be in tandem with Neptune. And Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So when Mercury is in the sign of Pisces, conjunct Neptune, that's a double whammy. That's the official term. So what that means is there's going to be a lot of creative energy, a lot of inspiration, a lot of dreaminess, and not so much practical application. So this retrograde is very Piscean. We also have a new moon in Pisces coming up next week. This is all about dreaming and imagination and spirituality and finding ways to expand our heart, to open the heart, to experience the divine compassion that Pisces is known for. It's not going to be a super effective time to really get anything concrete done in the world. So I'll be talking more about that next week. This week, it's just a good time to prepare. Is there anything that might need to be redone next week when Mercury goes into retrograde? Is there anything that is going to require a lot of focused mental energy that might be difficult to do over the next few weeks? Maybe get that started now before things start to get a little fuzzy. So I hope that will help, and I'll look forward to, I'll probably be posting a video at the end of this week about the new moon to help us to sort of prepare for this new Pisces moon that will be coming up. So thanks so much, and I'll look forward to talking to you again. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them for me. It's a pleasure to be doing these videos for you. Thank you.